Hey everyone, it's Adam back for another video. Our power just came back on. It was off for about 3 hours, and there was a really vicious storm out there. So just basically a summer monsoon. And I was just sitting here reading a book by Jim Grant called Mr. Market Miscalculates. It was put out probably back in like 2009, 2010, and it's a lot of articles from their publication from back before that time, uh, even going back to like 2099, and then it goes into the subprime GFC. It's really worth a read if you guys get a chance. So I'm just going to go over some data today on share buybacks. I saw some data that was really interesting. So I'm just going to do a screen share here, and I'll bring up some data on share buybacks. So the first piece of data is Apple just authorized share buybacks by another $90 billion. So I mean, just an astonishing figure. And this at a time when the stock's trading at 33 times for the price to earnings ratio. So it's definitely not, obviously not trading like it was back in '06 or it was like in the single digits. Um, so I mean, just quite an astonishing figure. The next share buyback was from Wells Fargo, and in July they just authorized another $30 billion share buybacks. So just these moves are at a time when the Wells Fargo stocks is not cheap as well. So yeah, if they are going to do this, I tend to think, well, maybe they think their stocks are undervalued. I don't know. But in a situation, you probably want to do this when the market's not so hot, and at a time when it's at a, especially in Apple's case, at a lower PE ratio. And this kind of move, what it does is, in my opinion, it really, it obviously benefits the capital holders, but for labor, these kind of massive share buybacks, I'm not really sure how this helps labor at all. And the next share buyback is from Discover. And I was just going through their Q2 earnings release, and they authorized 700 million in share buybacks. So, real significant number for Discover. And one thing interesting too, going through the Discover earnings report, is their discount rate volume went up as well. I think it went up like 8% maybe. Let's see, it's somewhere in here. Yeah, I believe it's somewhere in there. If you go through the report, but there's more, obviously more credit card spend, and that would correlate with the data showing that the balances are to almost $1 trillion from the Federal Reserve from earlier this month. And this at a time when you have the average APR at about 24%. So, with regard to the share buybacks, I just want to kind of point out, kind of to allude to back to the GFC era, um, what I was reading about earlier today. Um, Here's AIG. So this is an article going all the way back to 2007. Yeah, March 2007. AIG did a share repurchase of authorized share buybacks of $8 billion. So let's bring it up here. Yep. On Friday, Insurer announced $8 billion share buyback plan in 2007, and then in 2008, we all know what happened. The government had to take equity in them, bail them out, and the bailout was worth about $150 billion, according to Investopedia. So that's why with the share buybacks, I would rather see, it depends on the situation, obviously. These executives are, obviously they're going to be smarter than me. But I think in a situation here, so the following year you have to be bailed out by the federal government. Probably that should go onto the current assets, go into a cash position, into marketable securities, and give you a better cushion for when times get rough. Because what happened here is the federal government had to come bail them out. So, I'm not saying that's going to happen with Apple or Wells Fargo. Likely won't. It just that's something about share buybacks that's I think that's kind of a detriment of it, because you just, as a company, you never know what can happen. So I appreciate everyone listening, and I hope everyone has a great night. Take care.